Hey everyone, happy Monday. Today I wanted to talk about something that is happening in our horse boarding business and how I am handling it. In the last 30 days, we have lost several clients. Every single one of these clients told us it was due to economic reasons. 3/4 of them were moving completely out of the area, like to a different state or somewhere really far away from us. And the last 25% was moving into a bargain basement boarding situation. Now, attrition is normal. We get turnover in the boarding business, on a regular basis. And typically it's pretty easy for me to replace these clients. And I have noticed that it's taking a lot longer and costing a lot more in ad revenue in order to generate new clients. So I believe it's because of bigger economic issues, because I know my family is definitely feeling the pinch from inflation and gas costs and just everything being more expensive. But I do think it's definitely a sign for things to come. So this week, I wanted to tell you what I am doing about it in my boarding business. So besides trying to drum up replacement boarders, I also did what I call a slash and burn on my expenses. And I did that using a report in QuickBooks Online. And that's the training that I'm going to walk you through today. It's just going to take a couple minutes here. So I'm going to share my screen. And I've got this version of QuickBooks Online open. And the report I use is down here in reports. And it's this profit and loss detail report. And if you can't find it on your starred list, it's right here at the bottom. So I'm just going to click it. And I'm going to set it for last month. And I'm going to run the report. Now, the goal of the cash audit is to try and free up extra money that you can use to pay bills, pay down, your debt, put money into savings in expectation of having higher turnover over the next year. And this report's great because it's going to list the individual items that went through your cash account. We're going to make sure we run it on cash so that it does that properly. And then you can go through and take a look at everything that you spent money on and decide what you can cut. So I've got it right here. I don't really care about the income piece because all I care about is the expenses. So I'm going to collapse that. And then I'm going to shoot it into Excel by going to export to Excel. And we're going to open it. Do enable editing. All right, and so we're just going to focus on the expense items here. And you can see that there are individual items now listed, so I can see where I spent my money. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color code these items. So I'm going to choose one color for something that is a need. So it's something that I absolutely have to have in my business. So maybe I'll choose yellow. I'm going to choose one color for something that's maybe somewhere in the spectrum of maybe it's really nice to have and I really would like to keep it in the business. And then I'm going to choose another color for something that is like an absolute splurge, something I know I don't need. It's great to have, but I know I don't need. So I'm going to go through every one of my different transactions and I'm going to color code them. And then after I'm done color coding them, so I have a really strong feeling of whether they are something that I have to have in my business versus something that I'm just purchasing because it's nice to have, I'm going to move over here to one of the empty columns and I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to use K for keep. So that means I'm not going to make any change to the expense item. I'm going to use D for delete if I want to get rid of the expense item altogether. And let's see, for the last choice, say I have an expense that I know I need to have, but I think I can cut back on it. I'm going to use C and do cut or cut back. So I'm going to go through every one of these expenditures that I have in my cash account, and I'm going to code them like that. And then in column K, I'm going to put the amount of money that I'm going to save. So if I'm going to keep the item, the amount of money is going to be 0 because that's not going to change. If I'm going to delete the item, it's going to be equal to what the cost was. So like this one was 65. And if I'm going to cut back, I'm going to put down how much I think I'm going to save. So maybe I think I'm going to save 70 bucks. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to add up all these transactions. So I'll do auto sum. And now I can see that I can save $135 in cash right here if I make those changes to my bank account spending. So this is a cash audit. It's something I like to do on a monthly basis. Some people do it quarterly or yearly. If you've never done this, you could find, a couple hundred to a couple $1,000s in expenditures that you can cut from your business. And this could be a really big deal for you, especially if you are in a position right now where times are a little tough and you're having a hard time, replacing some of those clients that have left. So take a look, try and walk through it, and shoot me a private message if you have any issues. Good luck.